Greetings. This is Dr. Mike McGee out of Northwest Indiana. And today you're at a 911 for violence prevention pop-up event. I want to thank you guys for even coming on this Saturday. Luckily, and it's not really nice out here in the Midwest, so hopefully I have a nice audience. Today, this is a very outstanding day. We have some very special guests that we'll be introducing a little bit later. But right now, I do want to take the opportunity to introduce you guys to the 100 Black Men Chairman. For those of you who don't know, the 100 Black Men of America is a very large, pretty much all Black mentoring organization for Black men who basically goes out and mentor young Black men from middle school all the way to adulthood. And so our chairman has actually decided to take onto their plate the platform of violence prevention, and I am the chair for that organization. But I do want our chairman to say a few words before we start with the rest of our program. So without further ado, I want to introduce Chairman Tommy Dortch. Chairman Dortch, are you on here? Well, you know, what's happening is we've been having difficulties. This is a new platform, and our chairman was on here, but he doesn't appear to be now. So I'm going to just go ahead and just take over and continue with the rest of the program. We have a limited amount of time and a lot to cover. So without further ado, I do have a nice PowerPoint presentation that I like our tech person to bring up. Delmar, can you go ahead and start that PowerPoint, please? Delmar? So guys, we have a great PowerPoint. I'm trying to get our chairman, our tech design person to get it going. So just bear with us, please. We're using YardStream, which is a little bit more complex than Zoom. So we have difficulties. I seem to have lost communications with my tech person. All right, here we are. Chairman Dortch, how you doing? You have about 2 minutes now to make some words and welcome all of our guests out here throughout the world. Feel free to take over. Chairman, you're on. Chairman Dortch, can you hear me? Chairman Dortch, you can start. All right, so Chairman is having some difficulties. Delmar, let's start with the video, with the PowerPoint, please, because I'm going to get behind schedule. Here we go. We're getting somewhere now. So we want to go ahead and expand this PowerPoint because we're going to basically be talking about the impact of youth, the effects of COVID on youth, And I'm going to flow through this because we're getting behind schedule. Next slide, please. Keep moving. And Delmar, by the way, some people are saying the links are not working to get people on. And so this picture here you see is our staff at our urgent care in Hyde Park. I'm Dr. McGee. I'm the CEO of that. Next slide. I'm also an ER doc. And if you look on this slide right here, this is at a time when everything was all good. It was pre-COVID. I did not have to wear a mask, and everything was great in our world. Since that time span, all types of hell has taken place. Next slide. And so coronavirus, everybody's heard of it. I don't need to spend a lot of time just talking about this, but in general, COVID has been here. It's been around. It's the simple cold. It's the thing that causes all kids, adults to have runny nose, cough, fever, and sneezing. There are 7 types. And before, the one that we're dealing with now and another one before that, they've all been pretty harmless. Next slide. Since that time span, they've become very deadly. And so right now, we all know about COVID-19, which is a very novel strain, which means it's new, which is why you guys have been hearing every month something different comes up, because it's things that we don't know. For those of you guys who don't know what COVID-19 means, CO stands for coronavirus. For corona, which means crown-like shape. It's similar to a branch of tentacles that adhere to surfaces and to your lungs. VI means virus, D means disease, and 19 means the year when it was detected. And you already know about the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, because we've already had SARS-1, and this is part 2 of that. Next slide. And so if you look at this picture right here, those are the tentacles that I was telling you about that tend to adhere to the surface. Next. If I stop speaking, you can move forward with the slide. So transmission of COVID-19 basically spread through droplets that you know about through your mouth or your nose. It can adhere to surfaces, and if it becomes aerosolized, which means that it breaks down into small particles, it can hang in the air for several hours, and you can subsequently get infected. And so this is just a picture showing you that it can fly around from, country to country. It can jump from hand to hand, and it can definitely come out of your mouth. Next. And so clinical symptoms, we already know. Fever is most common. You get dry coughs, loss of smell or taste. You get some sputum production. You get some shortness of breath. You get some body aches, sore throat, and headaches. Next slide. You can also get nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. So look at this. This is an important slide right here because they looked at the symptoms that people have in terms of kids versus adults. If you look at everything, the kids have everything the adults have, but if you get down to that final bar in red, most kids don't get the shortness of breath. And so they don't really get the severe effects of COVID, which drives people to the hospital and they need to be on a ventilator. Next. And so in general, if you look at all these symptoms from different things that we have had in the past, like the flu, like allergies, like cold, they all have similar symptoms of COVID, which is why it's important for us to take the flu vaccine this year so that we don't have these symptoms which will confuse your mom or dad, and they're going to think you might need to get tested for COVID. Take your flu shot because a lot of these symptoms overlap. Next slide. And so just looking at the clinical course, you guys should know this. In general, there's a period where there's no symptoms for about 5 days. And in that 5 days, unlike most infections, you can actually spread it to other people. Also, you'll get a fever and you'll follow by a cough. And after a week, you may become shortness of breath. And so what's important to know is half the population don't know they have COVID because they don't have symptoms. And that's what makes it so concerning, because you can be around your grandparents, your brother who has asthma, your sister who has cancer, and not know you're giving it to them. But thank God, 80% of these are not that, they're pretty mild, and you get better within 14 days. 13% you get sick with pneumonia and shortness of breath, and about 4 to 5% can die. Next slide. And so this is just looking at, how we treat for mild, and pretty much you're going to go home. Okay, we're going to quarantine you. You're going to go home. We're going to treat you for the fever and body aches. For moderate, you may be put in isolation. You may or may not go home, depending on if you need oxygen or not. And then if you have a pneumonia, we'll give you antibiotics. But for severe, you're going to be on oxygen, you're going to be on a ventilator, and you're going to have to go to the ICU. Next. And so this is just a quick x-ray showing you a normal chest x-ray. Here's the lungs, and here's the heart. And this is the white stuff on that side. It's all COVID. Next slide. This is a CAT scan showing the same thing. This is a milder form of COVID-19. And this, with all these different pictures of white stuff, that's a more extensive form of COVID. Next. And so if you look at this is the lung of a 20-year-old who had to have a lung transplant because of COVID. Next slide. And we're going to keep moving real fast here. And so this is a patient who's about to be intubated or has been intubated. This is me now in the COVID world, all gowned up and with a mask on. So if I'm wearing all of that, it means something. Next slide. And this is just showing you the death rate in terms of people dying by age. And this was initially where we didn't think a lot of people died, you know. And then now, as you can see, 63% of people over 70, 25% of people over 60, and then 12% for people 30 and up. And then for kids, it used to be 0.2, and now it's like 0.5. Next slide. And so just to show you how COVID can affect adults, but also people of any age if you have underlying conditions. Next. And so this is just some underlying conditions. People with heart failure, hypertension, diabetes, lung disease, HIV, and age is a higher risk if you're older. Next. Keep going. This is just showing you where we are today in terms of, next click, please. This just shows you where we are in terms today of 208,000 people that have died. Back in 4/11, when I did this talk, we only had 18,000 people that have died. Next. And so just so you know about health disparities, it basically means bad stuff that happens to a group of people, like bad things happen to Black people. Next slide. If you all know this, we as Black people make up 13% of the population, but yet we account for 50% of people dying from COVID. 50%. That's a lot. In fact, Latinos, they get a higher rate of infections, but they don't die. Next slide. And so we found out since kids went back to school between July 16th and July 30th, that 40% of kids had COVID. So kids can get it. And some of them do bad. Most do well, but some do bad. Next. And so kids have natural immunity where they can fight it off. This just came out, and it shows that most kids can do well. Next slide. However, this right here shows Blacks and Latino kids who may get the severe form of it. So our people have a health disparity. If you look at what they get, these are all the different things that can happen to anyone with COVID and chronic disease, where you can have a stroke, you can have a heart attack, you can have a blood clot, you can have kidney disease. But in kids, you can get multi-system inflammatory failure where you can go into shock, which is what I mean by this happening to Black people. And in terms of what about the youth, you guys may be asymptomatic, meaning you don't have symptoms, but you can give it to your mom, your dad, your grandparents. And also, if you have asthma or diabetes or HIV or kidney disease, you can die as well. Next. And so this is a very cute little young girl who died. Next. Her parents were healthcare workers, and she was one of the first kids to die from coronavirus. Next slide. It just shows you that small kids can also get it. And this is just showing in New York when we first started knowing about that shock disease, where a lot of little kids, babies, could get this. Keep going. And so now we found out that kids can get rashes, as you can see. Next. They can get COVID toes, where they get little blisters on their feet. Next. Here's the toes. Keep going. And what about if you drink alcohol as a youth, or smoke cigarettes, or vape, or smoke marijuana? Well, if you're passing marijuana, it's going from lip to lips. So you can pass the germs and the virus. Next. It's saying teenagers have 7 times the risk of getting COVID if they vape. So guys, let's not vape. Next. And so this is showing how we treat it. Very simple. You all know we're giving remdesivir and we're giving high-dose steroids if you're severe and on oxygen. And then there are a whole bunch of other investigational drugs out there that have not been proven. Next, the simplest things, as you already know, is to wash your hands, keep distance, cover your mouth, stop sneezing, and clean everything. Next slide. And so we like to think of the 5 C's in terms of Christ, prayer first, cleaning your hands for 30 seconds, covering your mouth, keeping droplets to yourself, isolating yourself, wearing your mask at all times, and keeping in contact with people, families and friends, and not smoking. And also get your exercise in. Eat properly, stay hydrated, take vitamin C, take vitamin D, which is known to improve the chances of you not getting severe COVID. Take zinc. And these are things that your parents can take, or people who have chronic diseases. If you're a healthy kid, you don't have to worry about that because you're going to be fine. But you guys all know somebody who may have some chronic problems. Next. So if you get infected, again, just isolate yourself and use a thermometer and do all the right stuff. Next. And if you have a mask on, just so you know, this is somebody who has COVID, but somebody who's wearing a mask can still get COVID 70% of the time. This is somebody who is infected with COVID wearing a mask, but if you don't have a mask, you're protected from them by 5% of the time you may actually get it. And this right here shows everybody's wearing a mask. The chance of it being transmitted is less than 1.5%. So I'd rather be in this statistic right there than not. And then be careful of the mask you wear. Next, watch out for the black mask. Don't wear it at night. We're already getting mistaken for criminals. A lot of people have been shot by police and white people who thinking that we're about to do something bad. Be careful. And definitely not wear red, which is Bloods, or blue, which is Crips. All right. Next slide. Again, if you get worse, get telemedicine, call your doctor. Keep going. And this is just showing telemedicine, which is out there for everybody. Next slide. And so if you decide to protest, do it the right way. Wear your mask. We felt the need to protest, but we did it the right way. Next slide. And so important reference, you guys should know this, chicago.com, cdc.gov, this phone number. Next slide. And as you already know, with us being locked in, a lot of child abuse is happening. So if you guys are being abused or know someone that's being abused, here's your 1-800 numbers. Okay. And for those of you who are not in Illinois, there's all kinds of numbers you can call. Just look it up, Google it. And also, if you're nervous, if you're anxious, if you're having mental instability, text HOME to 74171 and they'll connect you with crisis counselor. It works. I've tried it. Next. And so right now we're going to switch real quick. We're going to show you a quick video if Delmar can pull it up real quick. And then we'll be done. We're going to go over a few other things after that. And then we're going to get to the exciting part of this Facebook Live pop-up event.
Former Chicago Bear is tackling youth violence in a unique way. Wide receiver Gregory Primus is now an urgent care physician in Hyde Park. He and 2 other African-American doctors are now running the only urgent care in the neighborhood, and they're putting a percentage of their profits toward helping to fight the city's violence. Natalie Bobke has the story.
The doctors here aren't just working to treat injuries, they're also working to prevent them.
Now, if you had a friend who was shot, I need you to please stand up in this room. What about a classmate? If you had a classmate who was shot, please stand up.
When you have a kid come in who's 11 or 10 who's been shot and you can't do anything about it, and you have to tell their parents and look them in their eye, hey, I'm sorry, your child is dead. I've had parents grab me and tell me to bring them back.
Dr. Michael McGee is the CEO of Premier Urgent Care, the only center of its kind in Hyde Park, possibly the only black-owned urgent care in Chicago, and certainly the only one with a former Chicago Bear on staff.
Dr. Greg Primus is the brainstorm behind all of this.
Dr. Primus was called into the operating room today, but while he was away, his idea of what it takes to save Chicago was in action. With proceeds from the urgent care, the doctors are funding anti-violence youth rallies. They're giving kids an incentive to change the cycle of violence and showing them what role models look like.
You know, the stereotype black men don't normally do anything to help the communities, or like they're not really going to be anything in life. It's especially important to see that they're coming back to the community and giving back.
They have a choice whether to do it or not, and they chose to help out kids because they want to see them grow up just like them.
This week in April is National Youth Violence Prevention Week, so it's perfect timing for this focus. In Hyde Park, Natalie Bomke, Fox 32 News.
Wonderful. Wonderful idea.
All right, guys, we're going to get back to that PowerPoint and now talk about the violence prevention part of it. And we're going to flow through that extremely quickly as well. So Delmar, if you can pull that PowerPoint back up again. And stay tuned, guys. We have probably the baddest DJ in all of Northwest Indiana coming up very soon. She's definitely going to keep you awake. She is a nurse practitioner who's doing an outstanding job with COVID. And she also has a message from when she was growing up in high school in Chicago, and she watched two kids get killed, resulting in her dropping out of school and refocusing her life, and became a paramedic and a nurse practitioner. All right, are we ready for the next part of this? All right, so moving on. And so now we're going to blow through this. Challenges of youth violence, okay? It's increased everywhere. Bullying, domestic abuse, cyberbullying, where you're doing stuff online. That stuff affects people. Fighting, you know, all that leads to somebody now getting a gun and shooting someone. You know, a lot of kids have post-traumatic stress disorder. And then a major challenge out there is social media. It's the most common factor for violence, even with gangs. People are getting upset and they're fighting and now shooting. And now it's not just in urban environments. It's not just in the hood. It's in all kinds of areas. It's in white suburbia. It's everywhere, and it's getting worse. Next. And so this is just showing domestic abuse. It starts when you're in your age, elementary school. You're hitting girls on their bottoms. You're doing, you know, calling them out their names. You're doing physical abuse. You can't do that. Men got to be men, and women, you can't let that happen at an early age. You got to stand up and tell somebody. Next slide. And so what happens is 1 in 4 young ladies saying that they're being abused and harassed online, but also by texting. If a young man's texting you 20 times a day, get away from him right now. And 81% of parents don't even know that that's happening. So parents, check out for your kids. Find out what they're doing. And so people think Xbox, the effects of rap music, gangster rap music, and videos can affect your child. Next slide. If kids are sitting around all day and they just playing these games, and now they have violent, things on there where they're using guns, and now they're pointing guns. Next slide. It shows them how to shoot. And now every person they run into is like a video game person. And so there's no concern or empathy towards the next person who they want to shoot, because they're used to doing it all day. Keep going. And so, when you're isolated, you turn to gangs. Next slide. You get into fights, which can escalate. Next slide. Into people being stabbed. Next slide. To now people being killed. And it does happen in school as well. If you look at national youth violence data, it is a public health problem. Over 650,000 kids have been to the ER because of injuries secondary to violence. And also, and this is the most important stat that I can ever give you, if you look at ages 10 to 24, homicide is the leading cause of death in African Americans and the second leading cause of death for Hispanics. Next slide. And I had to reiterate that by making a very good little flyer that we usually pass out. Next slide. That's just one. Next slide. And this is two, just saying the same thing. Next slide. And so health disparity, we just discussed it, right? 13% of the population for COVID, over 50% of them die. Well, look at this. Black men make up 6% of the population and account for 52% of all gun violence victims, meaning black men are dying at a huge click from homicide. And it's just like COVID-19. So we got to do something. That's why we got to do these talks like we're doing today. Next slide. And so if you look at this, I want to bring this to your attention. Everyone thinks that shootings by law enforcement is a huge number. Well, the reality is it's only about 988, but it's sad, and it's usually victims who should not be getting shot, but the number is very small compared to homicide and us killing each other. And so I just want everybody to recognize we should be getting mad for all reasons. And as you already know, with COVID, people are upset, they're nervous, they're out of jobs, they don't have a hope, they're desperate, and people started buying guns at a huge click. Next slide. And so now we have two pandemics, coronavirus and gun violence. Next slide. And as we're finishing, how do you avoid violence? Just some tips for you. First off, you avoid it by avoiding it, okay? One thing I learned in martial arts was how not to get into a fight, how to walk away from somebody coming at me. And so try to avoid altercations, try to avoid fight, and try to resolve conflicts. Also, join an activity. Join, educational activities or social distance activities that are going on. Get involved with sports. You can do it online. You can do a lot of these things online now. Also, get involved with a mentoring program like 100 Black Men or fraternities or sororities or whatever programs that are out there. And I encourage all youth to take martial arts and boxing as a way to alleviate the stress that you're under. And I know you're under stress. Also, go to church. Go to church on TV. Get religiosity into your life, because studies show that people and kids who are involved with religion do better and they're less likely to be involved with violent acts. And plus, we all need prayer in Jesus in this time. Don't hang out with the wrong crowds. I don't care if it's your cousins. And I had people like that in my family. Don't hang out around people because you think they're cool. And young ladies, don't be attracted to the young boy who is not doing the right things and out there in the world. And young men, stay away from the temptation of being involved with those gangs or what have you, and young men who are not doing well. We want everybody to do better, but don't be hanging around that, because what happens is when they get into shots or get into situations, the innocent person there gets shot. The young girl who's with their boyfriend who's selling drugs will oftentimes get shot. So stay away from that. And then read. Instead of playing video games all day, listen to hardcore rap music, change your music, expand your music. I love rap music, but the hard stuff that's calling our young ladies the bitchs and talking about killing and murder, I can't deal with. So let's stay away from that. And then last, don't drink, smoke, vape, or do drugs. Next slide. And so now we're coming to the exciting part, the mask on, violence out, gun. We want, this was Leo, and they basically have the L's up and guns down. Next. And so we got to put the guns down no matter what. It's happening all over the country now, not just a Chicago thing. It's all over. So our organization, POP, which is Project Outreach Prevention, which is my nonviolence organization, partnered with 100 Black Men of America, of which I am the chair. Next slide. And I am the chair of the newly formed Violence Prevention Action Committee that our chairman, Chairman Dortch, decided to start. And I'm very proud of the fact that he decided to do something that can be very powerful. There are 100 Black Men chapters in all cities. And so now we're going to be taking over and focusing not only on mentoring, but also trying to prevent violence and having more discussions like what we're doing today. And so what we've done to get the kids and youth involved is to come up with a challenge. It's called Mask On, Violence Out. And we're basically offering money. Next slide. And so we're going to get into that in a little while. Next slide. And so seems like we skipped a slide. So right up is our golden, nope, it's okay. Go back, please. The other direction. Other direction. Go back to the nurse who was on there. You're at the end. All right, let's close this out. And so what I wanted to show, and you'll see them in a minute, was our two ambassadors who we're very proud of. And so without me saying their names, I'm going to let our DJ take over. It's now 12:36. She's going to go for about 14 minutes. And she is a nurse practitioner who got mad skills. So take it over, Golden MP.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's poppin'? What's going on? welcome to the Pop Virtual Event presented by the Pop Organization and 100 Black Men of America. Not one more life, not one more day, okay? We're having hard times, but it's gonna get better. It's the golden MP, y'all.
People when they say we'll be in the morning, angel in the stars, I am after the skies. Why you gotta disguise it? Rich in the mind is why I'm making the closet. Give me all the power, it's time to realize it. Don't know, good take my power. I go up, I go up. Don't know, good take my power. I go up, I go up. They feel the way, oh wow. They feel the way, oh wow. Don't know, good take my power. I go up, I go up. Don't know, good take my power. They feel the way, oh wow. They feel the way, oh wow. This that rhythm, this that lightning, this that burn, this ain't no power. This that nappy, this that iron, this that kinfolk, this that skinfolk, this that war, this that bloodline on the front line, ready for war. Where you want? Get it loose, get it up, get it up, get it loose, get it loose, get it up. Oh, gotta protect my grace. Keep it locked in the safe. Don't make me get back to my ways. My power they never take. Don't never take my power. My power. Don't never take my power. They feel the way.
Oh wow.
They feel the way.
Oh wow.
Don't never take my power. My power. Don't never take my power.
No, we wouldn't. No. No, we will not stand here in silence while they take the lives of our brothers and sisters and partners. We will not turn a blind eye to the murder with no repercussions. Oh no, we will not. We will not live on our knees. We will die on our feet. This ain't no lie that I speak. All you youngins out here in the streets only wanna shoot people who look like you. You can stay home. You too weak. Oh no, we will not go and repeat the mistakes of the past. Ignoring the snakes in the grass, paying you cash. Still we praying, we fast. Till one day that's your ass. We will not ask for no one. No, but we will be prepared for one. Hoping not with a gun. With the unity, using the same shit you did to destroy me. We sick of the garbage you kicking and teaching and lynching us, liking us up for no reason and killing us. No consequences, conviction. You serious? Lying about what you show in the media. Assassinate all the leaders who leading us. Leave us with ones who misleading us. Then go reward all the ones who mistreat us and leave us in projects and give us these poisonous products on top of narcotics to push to our sisters and brothers. Like them ain't our sisters and brothers. No, we will not be running more led astray up and bamboozled. The book will be stopping today. See what happened when athletes are no longer play for you. Tell them accountants to pray for you, huh? Oh, respect, God, just respect what that paper do. Look up, it's too late for you, dropping you off, turning them profit to law. When we won't go shopping no more, united we all, stuck in there bullshit together. Showing me what we just won't say whatever. Else they just roll up and shoot or whatever, just like they been doing forever. The niggas swear they gon' be huffing and puffing, but they gon' do nothing. The enemy crying, they way behind them and
Take lots of things you never see. Remember, it's space, and it's the color of your face. There will be new sunny days. Sunny days, black man. Black man, 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 wanna be black man, 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 black man.
I'm going back to the south. I'm going back, where my roots ain't watered down. Growing like a baobab tree of life on fertile ground. Ancestors put me on game, on time, on gold chains, with my mushroom energy. Drip all on me. Uncle da she keep it. Hold up, donut, salad, such a non-chopper instant. Yo, ice, bust down. Let it, on my wrist out. Going up, motherland, drip on me. Melanin, my drip is candy. Like, motherland, drip on me. I can't forget my history, it's the story. Maybe that's the reason why they always mail. Getting past them. I know that's the reason why they all been mad and they always have. Honey, come around my way, around my eye. Whenever mama says so, mama said, here I come on my throne, say follow my parade. Talking slick to my foe, grip that lip like lipo, hypo, hear them swarming right. Reason on the bike. Now here we come on our throne, say follow my parade. On fuzz, all black, all chrome, black on, black tits, black. Walk by my window down, let them see who in it, crack a big smile. Go figure me and jigger 50, let them cheering, they like chick how. I charge my crystals in a full moon. You can send them missiles, I'ma send my goons. Baby, see the rapping in my eye. Trust me, they gon' need it on me. Rubber bullets bouncing on me. Made a picket sign up your picket fence. Take it as a warning. Waste beats from your Uber. For honey, Billy, that's a mooster. Straw line to the barbecue. But it's any damn way, we gon' make it look cute. Benjamin fly on the runway. My hair's not touching, running through the house in my art all black. And sisters on the wall, let the ghost chit chat. And sisters on the wall, let the ghost chit chat. Hold my hands, we gon' pray together.
All right, y'all.
We wearing all tight white.
That's
You know
right.
black love, we gon' stay
It's
together.
time to
And make me a lot of speakers.
the wonderful ambassadors for power.
Need some reparations for my people.
Now one more life. Now one more day. The mask on. Life is out challenge. From the Soul Showtime series and shout. We got Shamon Brown Jr., also known as Papa. Yeah. He in the house. Yep. Yeah. Welcome. And we also got Michael Epps. He plays the character Jake. He in the house too. Thank y'all for being a wonderful ambassadors for pop. Getting it done. Inspiring the youth.
We got rhythm.
Yes. Welcome to the first virtual H-Track.
Holy tongue.
Hustle dinner video. Yes.
On me. Motherland, on me. Hey. I keep forgetting my hit story. It's a story. Motherland, drip on me. Motherland, drip on me.
Yeah. 30 days coming in here, y'all. Do not worry about the violence and stuff you see. Just do your part to make all those positive changes you can make. Come in the medicine. Be a nurse, be a doctor, be a dentist, be whatever you want to be. Do not give up. Keep going. If I could do it, you can too. Yeah.
Jesus knows the price. Now here we come on my problems, hit it out.
Thank y'all for having me.
Black Parade.
Yeah. Black Parade. Black Parade. Black Parade. Black Parade.
They go to cars. Is it because of my people? Is it because of my sneakers? Is it because of my jersey? Is it because of them perfect? And if I 3 in the morning,
y'all.
Why you put me up and say you smell marijuana? I said I got an ID, I got home. He said we ain't even kill a nigga, get up there, your hands up. Running real hard, shit the taser. Real hard, shit the taser. I took the king spirit, we gon' shake it.
Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story, it was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I hold back, sometimes I won't. I feel good, sometimes I don't. I finesse down Western Road. Might go down to G.O.D. I go hard on Southside G. I make sure that Northside E. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Bad things.
Once again,
it's a
y'all,
lot of bad things that they wish.
it's time for the ambassadors of the Showtime series, The Chi, my hometown, representing, okay? We got Shamon Brown Jr. in the house, known as Papa, and we got Michael Epps, known as Jake, in the house. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. Take care.
Without 40 Ollie, there be no me. Imagine if I never met the broskies. God's plan, God's plan. I can't do this on my own. Hey, no. Someone watching it close, yeah, close. I've been me since Scarlet Road, hey, road, hey. Might go down as G.O.D., yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G, hey, wait. I make sure that Northside E, yeah. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing. They wishing on me. Yeah. Yeah. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing.
What up, Shacktown? What up, Northwest Indiana?
Okay, remember what I told you. Get up and dance.
level up.
Level up, 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 level up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Them more mistakes I'm gone, I won't do them no more. There's old news, there's news, I done did that before. I turned it into something, might come back on 100. Let's talk it, more action, you just don't see it coming. I just keep elevating, no losses, just upgrading. My lessons made blessings, I turn that into money. They gotta never settle, this view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as a greater, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. They grizzly drop like weight, team love don't want no hate. I'm grinding, I'm shining, up, on my way. They gotta never settle, this view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as a greater, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. All this sounds so level, on another level. Elevate your level, level. Graduate your level, there's no one on it. Nah. Hey, level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy.
Woo-ah! That was nice. That was nice. That was nice. Wow. She turned it out, guys. Matter of fact, if y'all don't know this, from what I had heard, Michael Epps, Jake, is a very good dancer. I bet he can give you a run for your money. All right. So come on out, guys. Let's let our ambassadors come on out. Shamon Brown Jr. Go ahead and show yourself, my man.
Yo.
All right. How you doing? How you feeling?
Good, man.
All right. Okay. We got Jake in there hiding out somewhere. Jake, we see you got a nice ceiling, my man. Let me see your face, though, dude. Let me see those nice dreads you got.
Tight.
All right. We can barely see you, Michael. But hey, guys, really want to thank you guys for being a part of this. I want to give you a few minutes to introduce yourself and then just kind of tell what you're doing with the Shy and what your role is. So who wants to go first?
Michael.
All right. So
I'll go first, get out the way. My name is Epps. I play Jake Rashad. Basically, Jake is a character who's he doesn't have he doesn't have the right guidance in life, you know. And as you see that throughout the season, he struggled to find the right home, the right love, a father figure in life.
Cool, yeah.
And you know what he's saying is so very true, because we got a lot of kids out there right now who's looking for all of that. The father figure, the right home, the right place.
Say it again. I got text my mom.
Jake, you're
Hello?
still on.
Hello?
Yes, Mike, you're still on.
It's cutting in now. What did you say? So you can say it again? You on OG number?
Well, you were just telling your role on the Shy. Go ahead and tell that again real quick so everybody can hear.
I was just basically saying, I was explaining to my character how Jake, he comes from like a law home. He doesn't have a father figure in life. He every season he struggles to find love, and you can see that the seasons he makes bad choices. Um, his brother is the father figure in his life. It's not a great father figure. His brother teaches him to do the wrong stuff in life, which causes him to make wrong decisions on his own. You know, because he doesn't have nobody to look up to. He makes bad life choices. But in the previous season, you can see he starts to find that love and home he needs. His new brother comes in. His brother starts to be around him, change his perspective in life, show him that there's more to it than what his brother's actually been teaching him.
And you know, Mike, that's so very true, man. Because not having the right person in your life or right people, you definitely can go down the wrong track. So I really like your character, man. I follow you guys a lot, and I'm excited. I tape the shows. I tell people to go and watch it, and I like your involvement, your involvement. You're now at an Ivy League school. You're doing well. So we want all of our youth to be like that. You know, whatever area you come from. I don't care. You know, if you grew up in the hood, you grew up in a project like I did. You know, you can aspire to do great in your life.
Appreciate it.
We want all our youth out there to know that. So, anything in store for next season for you? Are you gonna have a bigger role? Are you gonna, you know, get a girlfriend that you like a lot, that you stable with? Are you gonna, you know, now go on and plan to go on to college? But you can't really tell that information right now.
I don't even know the information myself. You feel me? We ain't even got the script yet. They've been hinting that I'm like Lena been hinting, throwing hints my way that she's thinking about throwing me a girlfriend enough. They do. Well, you see.
Okay. So do me a favor. Tell everybody out there, man, that your role, even when you know, had a gun, you know, when you were younger, when you were trying to sell drugs, tell them that it's all make believe. That's not reality.
That's not reality at all. That's all make believe. I'm not like that. I'm total opposite of real life. That's all make believe. All make believe.
And you are an athlete too, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm an athlete. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm campaigning for you to be on that football team. Man. I know you know you're playing basketball. I know your mom was a little bit worried, but I play football. I like it, and it's just safe. It's safer now.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. She on that side, she said I could play it. So, well, because of COVID, I can't play it this year. But I think they said they might bring it back in spring, or they might not. I don't know.
Hey man, you got to give me my props for that. I think I helped you convince your mom from a doctor perspective.
Oh yeah, props her way, most definitely. Yeah. It's a lot of that's all let me say, man.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pivot to my man Shamon. Now, I know I probably said his name wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and let him take over. Okay. Go ahead and do the same. Tell us, you know, some more about you.
Yo, my name is Shamon Brown Jr. I play Papa on the Shy. Basically, my character is a kid that grew up with Kevin and Jake, but he kind of had a better outlook in life than most of the other kids. Papa grew up in a 2-parent household. His father's a pastor. So he's kind of like a church kid, but kind of like throughout the seasons, you kind of see him evolve and kind of realize that everything just ain't candy, sweets, and all that. So hopefully next season you see that a lot more. So yeah, he's mostly like the positive light of the group, you know, breaking up fights or making sure everything stays in line and making sure that we grow together and try not to go so far apart from each other.
Yeah, man, you guys are doing it, man. When you first started, I heard, from what I understand, the show was originally about the adults, and then the youth took over, right? Talk a little bit about that a little bit.
Yeah, the kids, it was an adult series drama, but the kids just kind of took over and shine light on it. It's still, an adult drama, but the kids definitely have a bigger, role than how they did in season 1.
Yeah. So we're excited to look forward to the upcoming seasons, man. We can't wait. And, we know at some point, both you guys and some of your characters going to get some movie deals out of this. And from what I understand, both you guys got some other talent, right? You guys doing some other stuff. Is that right? Y'all want to expound upon that a little bit? Somebody may have just done a little hip hop or, little album or song. Y'all want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. I started doing music a couple years back, maybe like 2, almost 3 years ago. And I just found the love and a passion for it as the years went on. And now I have like 100+ songs just, wrote and recorded. I really took a passion for that. I sing, I rap, I could do, a little bit of everything. And yeah, that's that part. Then I also started getting into like writing myself, like writing my own scripts and everything. And, I have a brand called Shamon, which is, going to be announced very, 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 very soon. A lot of people know about it, but it hasn't been really officially announced. But, that's on the way. And then also some clothes for that line. So I'm excited for that too, as well.
That's awesome. Michael, can you tell a little bit about what you're doing in addition as well, or are you still on here? I think Michael is at some kind of function, so he's kind of in and out. So, here we go.
Hey, y'all can hear me? Y'all can see me?
Oh, yeah.
Say it again.
Just tell a little about, I know you're doing some extra stuff as well. Shamon just mentioned some things he's doing. I think I saw you in the studio doing some things. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we starting my music career. I ain't really been in the studio lately because of Corona and all that other stuff. But before I started, I got a song out. It's called Drip on all platforms. You can stream that. On the acting side, I just really started back auditioning for a bunch of stuff. We waiting for callbacks on that. Back to the music side. When Corona and all that over, I'll be going back to the studio. Y'all can expect some more music for sure.
Okay. We're rooting for you guys. We expect great things from you. So let's go ahead and get into this right now then. So you guys, kind of know we started this Mask On Violence Out. If you guys want to say a couple words why you decided to be involved with it, feel free. And I'll start with the Violence Out part. And then we'll let Shamon take over and we'll go right into the winners. So tell a little bit why you even decided to even assist us with this Violence Out part, Mike.
I decided to because all the violence is going around. It's been hard for like the youth to grow up. You know what I'm saying? It's been hard for the youth to like even go outside and enjoy themselves. And I know that for experience. Growing up in the hood, the neighborhood that I grew up in, it was a terrible neighborhood. We couldn't even go outside, came in front of our house, go to the park or none of that. We had to drive like, I want to say 15, 20 minutes away to a different park just to have fun. And it's like, all that violent stuff is really just played out. It's like, it's stupid, it's whack. They need to stop it. So like, our youth can go outside, play again, all that.
Yeah, man. What you said is 100% correct, man. It's just so sad from the adults like your mom and myself, from a different world from where we were, where we can do all kinds of stuff and not worry about being shot by an errant bullet. Now, and not only in Chicago, it's all everywhere, man.
It's everywhere.
Right.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. And so it's just sad that we're at that point right now. And there's not a lot of love. There's not a lot of unity. And something that you guys may not know, people think that a lot of the reason why people being shot or get into fights or whatever is because of gangs. But the number one reason for why anybody in whatever city they're in, they get into a fight and eventually may get shot is from altercations. And so people get upset, they pissed off, and they fight, and everybody got guns. And so they come out with a gun. Yeah. So you almost worse if you get into a fight and beat somebody up. Because now they may go home and get their parents' gun and come back at you. And another piece that I want to tell our youth out there is watch where you are. So if you're at an event at school, you're in college, and some kids about to fight, walk away. Don't stay there because they may start shooting, and you may get the end of that bullet.
You might
So
get in the way crossfire.
best advice I could give is to walk away from whatever's going on. Just get the heck out. Okay. Same thing for you, Shamon. Why don't you tell us why you decided to be involved with the mask on part?
Because it's important overall. A lot of kids aren't taking this situation and this predicament that we are all unfortunately put in serious. Some people think that it's over when it's really not. We're still going through the waves. We're still going through the trials and errors of this pandemic, and hopefully myself and Michael could help, promote wearing your mask and staying safe with our platforms, which is important because, if we don't do it, who else will? So
I like that. If you guys don't do it, who else will? And that's important, that our youth need to recognize you may be healthy as heck. As I just told you, your immune system can prevent you from getting sick COVID. But what about your grandmother or your cousin? Or heck, what about your little brother or sister?
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of people out there who don't even know they have diseases that they may find out later. So just be careful, guys. The flu season's coming, the winter's coming. Wear your mask, socially distance. Don't be around people who put you at risk. So let's go ahead and get into this. So we have a winner. And let me say this, the mask on part is a little challenging, right? Because you can only wear certain color masks, which are orange, which represents, it's the color that hunters wear when they're out hunting, so they don't get shot. That's why orange is so important. Purple means peace and tranquility. And then the blue and the lime green are our pop colors. And so we asked anybody that made masks would use those colors. And then we asked that you stay away from black. And then we asked that the video be a certain length and not go over 90 seconds. And so unfortunately, a lot of the people who submitted their video didn't quite follow the rules. And also the one video winner that we had only did 11 seconds. So it's very quick. And so we had no winners. And so we're doing an honorable mention to someone. And I think she's on. I'm going to let Shamon introduce her, and then she can come on and he can tell her what she won. She can come on and say some words.
Yeah, so our honorable mention is Janiyah Allison. Congratulations to you. Your prize of $100. So congratulations to you for your video. I believe I watched it. I probably did because he sent me the video. But yeah,
it was quick though. It was quick, Shamon. It was real quick. You may have missed it.
Right. But yeah, still congratulations. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
So can you come on and say some words, Delmar? Can you let her in so she can say who she is, what city she's from? And I think she's been in some programs that we've had and what she wants to do. Okay, guys, we're still having some technical difficulties. So what we're going to do is let's just go ahead and get into the video. Let's show and start that video. So what we're going to do, her video is 11 seconds, and then we're going to show the 3 other winners from the last spring competition to show you how it should be done. It's all about 1 minute and 50 seconds. So we'll be done quick. So Delmar, why don't you go ahead and show that, and hope our other guests be ready.
Michael.
speaks love. I speak peace. Let's stop the violence in these streets. Don't mask your emotions. She speaks love.
The challenge, which is going to be coming up phase 3. We want to make sure we have more youth who are out wearing their mask and being involved in the videos. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the violence out part. I think I gave you guys the winner. I should have just given it to Mike, but what we'll do is while Mike's getting ready, Shamon, why don't you introduce the next 2 winners, actually.
Right,
and let me set the stage. Let me tell you guys, it was supposed to be only 3 winners in each category. We had a bunch of people to submit videos for the violence out, and they were all fantastic. And we were only supposed to choose 3, but we ended up choosing 6. Okay, and so out of the 6 that we chose, there were 2 5th place winners. Okay, and they were that good. So you'll see in a second. So Shamon, why don't you go ahead and introduce the next 2 winners? Actually, introduce one of the 5th place winners right now, and then we'll have Mike introduce the second one.
All right. So we have one of our 5th place winners, Alexis Brewer, who won the prize of $150. So congratulations to you. And yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Alexis.
Hi.
Why don't you tell who you are, what school or city you're from, your choice, and the motivation behind your video before we show it.
Okay, so I am from Gary, Indiana, and the motivation behind my video is I feel like we should make a change and stop violence in general because I can't stand seeing people on the news, families being hurt, and yeah.
All right. Let's show your video then. Thank you for being involved, Alexis. I appreciate that. All right, Delmar, we're waiting for the video to start. And what we'll do, while he's getting that prepped up, let's go ahead and announce the other 5th place winner as well. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So because of time, the other 5th place winner is Carrington Davis. So we'll have her pop on if she's here, and she won $150 as well because they were tied. And so we want to go ahead and get that video shown. Oh, Carrington is, I don't think she's on here yet, but Delmar, can we go ahead and show that video?
I want to grow up to graduate into my mother's proud face. I want to be the next doctor, lawyer, or president of the United States. We see more and more lives lost every day. That's strange. Put down the guns and pick up a book in exchange. My life is just as important as yours, can't you see? I wanted to be a psychologist after getting my PhD. I just want to grow up. I literally just turned 16. Please stop chopping branches off of my family tree. I'm tired of seeing my sisters and brothers surrounded by red blood and yellow tape. I want to grow up. Can we reduce our youth violence rate? Let our babies grow up to be adults. Let our new adults grow up to be strong and old. Every day our youth are dropping like flies. It's time to stand up and put a stop to the fatal ending of our early lives. Let's not sit in silence. Let's come together and stop the violence. We all just want to grow up.
Every death is deja vu, we keep on writing sequels. Life is a minority, makes simple things seem lethal. Hypocrites and their insolence always hide behind their own ignorance. Put down people with viciousness, but then use the excuse that they're innocent. I'm confused. Where is the justice? Surrounded by people with no moral compass. We're clawing our way out the ditch we've been dumped in. Came a long way from us boycotting buses. We never gave up, and we're not starting now. We're getting too close, we can't throw in the towel. So put that mask on and switch volumes off. Stay happy and healthy and cover your calls. We've been in them trenches, been fighting them demons. But still we come out with our melanin gleaming. You can't keep us down, like air will rise. Proud and beautiful, like black butterflies.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. All right, so that winner, who I called her name out, was Carrington Davis. Carrington, are you on here? So some of our guys could not get on, and some were not even available. So Carrington may be one of them. So I want to go ahead and thank Alexis Brewer and Carrington for coming in and submitting. So thank you guys. Let's clap it up for them, guys. So guys, please get in contact with Chris, and we'll be getting your address and get to your text to you. Okay. So let's move on. And this is the fourth place. Now let Michael announce the fourth place winner.
You say announce the fourth?
Yep, fourth place.
Fourth place video number 2 goes to Alexis Morgan for $500.
So okay, let's back up for 1 second. I think this was sent to me out of order. So we have 2 6th place winners and 1 5th. So the 5th is actually Robin Johnson. Is Robin on here? I'm sorry, that was our mistake. Are you Robin? Okay. So Robin, why don't you come on and say some words? Hi, Robin.
My name is Robin, and I'm 11. I made a rap about taking out the violence, and I'm from Chicago, and my inspiration was to stop the violence so that kids can grow up and get into different stuff and get good jobs.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Why don't we go ahead and show that video at this point? We got to back it up a little bit because we can't hear it, Delmar. This is Robin Johnson. Back it up for a second. We don't have any sound. All right.
Little bit soft, and I got a message about stopping the violence. Here's a song. Let's get it. In 50 years, there's no more. In 50 years, there's no short.
I don't think we can hear Delmar. Is it just me?
Back door. Kids getting caught in violence. Instead of doing knowledge like a vitamin, but we gonna put it out like a fireman. Violence affecting, I'm talking viruses. But in this time, love the one who's dying. Love gonna fix this. We gotta love each other to omit this, dismiss this. Class over. We won't let it come back over. Rev over. We have to help each other, not hurt another. When you hurt a brother, you just hurt someone's mother. We need a new option. There's another. Stop the violence. Don't let it cover. It won't make you warm. Violence raining like a storm. Here's the umbrella. We're going to stop the rain and make a rainbow. We're going to tell the rain no. We're going to tell the rain go. We love each other. Go on, let it show. Go on, let them know. Stop the violence. It ain't getting a partner. This ain't no code. It ain't getting a friend. We ain't broke. On the wave, talking oceanic. We under attack. This ain't time to panic. We under attack. No need for acting frantic. Love is homegrown. Talking organic. Love gonna flow out. I'm talking volcanic. Passing through the static and the traffic. Violence messing up the graphic static. We gonna make violence vanish, don't magic. Being kind to be a habit. The daily y'all classic. Now we more than the clay ceramic. Giving love by the gallon, no challenge. Easy when you're working with passion. Do your own thing, no satisfying the match.
Can we stop the video, please? All right. So Delmar, did everybody hear her? Delmar.
I didn't hear the video. I saw it, but I didn't hear it.
Right. We got to redo that again, Delmar. No one heard her voice at all. I'm not sure it was all set up and programmed to work. Can we redo that again, please? So while he's getting that set up, Robin, what grade you in like that? What's your grade one more time?
Oh, I'm in 6th grade.
6th grade, okay. Now you out of what city?
Chicago.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. You got some mad lyrics if we can ever hear them. He's gonna try it one more time. And it doesn't make sense because they're all in the same alignment and the other ones work. Okay?
Okay.
So Jeremiah, you want to try one more time? If it doesn't work, then we're gonna have to move on to the next one. And so it's a little disappointing. I'm sorry, guys.
It looked like the people said they heard it.
Oh, the people did hear it.
We just didn't hear it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'm good with that. The audience was able to hear it. That's fine. And so, Robin, you won $250. Okay. So I want to thank you. We're going to get your check to you. And we're going to be showing all your videos on another platform. And also on Monday on Power 92, all the winners' names will be announced as well on the radio station. So be looking out for Monday. Oh, you know what? I just got a text and today, this evening, listen as well. And we'll get you the specific time later, okay?
Thank you.
Your hair looks so gorgeous too, by the way.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, let's go on, Delmar. We're gonna go ahead and Shamon can introduce the next winner, who is should be the 3rd prize. And you're right,
yeah.
She was 4th prize.
All right, so we got our 3rd place video winner, winner of $500, Alexis Morgan. Congratulations to you. So yeah.
So what Delmar is telling me is that we may have to play all the videos all at once because he's having some difficulty with hearing. But I think it's okay if we don't hear it, who's on here, because we've heard it already. So Delmar, go ahead and play it and then stop it. As long as the audience hears, that's what matters. Let's do it.
Now they say they can't hear.
Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Delmar, go ahead and stop it. And we're going to just go back through because I think you said that if we play them all at once, they can hear it. So why don't you just start it all over? And it's about, I think, like 7 minutes. If you can fast forward to the last 4th place winner, we can just start from there. And then we'll just let the winners announce them. We'll let them come on and speak once we're done. I want everybody to hear these really nice videos because they were outstanding. And so let's go ahead and do that.
I want to grow up to graduate into my mother's proud face. I want to be the next doctor, lawyer, or president of the United States. We see more and more lives lost every day. That's strange. Put down the guns and pick up a book in exchange. My life is just as important as yours, can't you see? I wanted to be a psychologist after getting my PhD. I just want to grow up. I literally just turned 16. Please stop chopping branches off of my family tree. I'm tired of seeing my sisters and brothers surrounded by red blood and yellow tape. I want to grow up. Can we reduce our youth violence rate? Let our babies grow up to be adults. Let our new adults grow up to be strong and old. Every day our youth are dropping like flies. It's time to stand up and put a stop to the fatal ending of our early lives. Let's not sit in silence. Let's come together and stop the violence. We all just want to grow up.
Every death is on my simple put down innocent people with no moral compass. We're clawing our way out the digging dumping. Came a long way, must boycotting buses. We never gave up and we're not starting now. We're getting too close, we can't throw in the towel. So put that mess going and switch violence off. Stay happy and healthy and cover your cause. We've been in them trenches, been fighting them demons. But still we come out with our melanin gleaming. You can't keep us down, like air will rise. Proud and beautiful, like black butterflies. Every death is deja vu, we keep on writing sequels. Life is a minority, makes simple things seem lethal. Hypocrites and their insolence always hide behind their own ignorance. Put down people.
I was a little bit saucy and I got a message about stopping the violence. Here's a song for it. Let's get it. In 50 years there's no more. In 50 years there's no sure. Why money there'll be no stores. I'm telling violence, here's the back door. Kids getting caught in violence. Instead give them knowledge like a vitamin. But we gon' put it out like a fireman. Violence affecting, I'm talking viruses. But in this time, love the one we dialing. Love gon' fix this. We gotta love each other to omit this, dismiss this. Class over, we won't let it come back over. Red Rover. We have to help each other, not hurt another. When you hurt a brother, you just hurt someone's mother. We need a new option. There's another. Stop the violence, don't let it cover. It won't make you warm. Violence raining like a storm. Here's an umbrella, we gon' stop the rain and make a rainbow. We gon' tell the rain no. We gon' tell the rain go. We love each other, gon' let it show. Gon' let them know. Stop the violence, it ain't getting a partner. This ain't no co. It ain't getting a friend. We ain't this bro. On the wave, talking oceanic. We under attack, this ain't time to panic. We under attack, no need for acting frantic. Love is homegrown, talking organic. Love gon' flow out, I'm talking volcanic. Pass it through the static and the traffic. Violence messing up the graphic static. We gon' make violence vanish, all magic. Being kind should be a habit. The daily all classic. Now we molding the clay ceramic. Giving love by the gallon, no challenge. Easy when you're working with passion. Do your own thing, no satisfying the masses.
Hello, my name is Alexis Morgan. I do spoken word. I'm 13, and today I'll be 14. And today I'll be performing a poem that I wrote about violence. We can't reach full equality if there's hatred in our communities. Discriminating against our other black brothers and sisters because of what they claim. Seeing violence is all they know, like a gun planted a seed in their brain. Seeing a body laid out on a pavement causes trauma to the heart. It's not normal seeing and hearing about someone getting fatally shot. It's like a routine now, living life with a new teen on the news due to violence. It's a shame that we have to get violent to be heard, but once again we say no justice, no peace with our fists held high. At such a young age, I've seen people being carried away by an ambulance. Some people end up in body bags, being taken to the morgue because of brutality, or they was on the wrong block. But a story can't be truly heard if you don't know both sides. They act the way they do because it's all they know, not having a parent figure to help them learn so they could grow. It's worrying how I want to help my community, but nobody listens if you speak for free. You got to be a part of a trend. People killing people because of how the rappers push it. But when you speak reality, they just tune you out because, once again, that's all they know. They woke up and have a schedule like they sold their soul. They don't have faith in Jesus. They let what this planet make them. Drive them in the opposite direction of finding a meaning, finding a purpose instead of giving a family a reason to put a young man or a woman on a t-shirt. It's the new generation now, and I hope we help our children learn. I will continue to spread my views on violence because I would break down if it was one of my homies in the red tape zone. They killing out there, and I'm just trying to spread a message. The world won't ever change if you won't ever let it. Thank you.
little Karate Kid or something? What you want, some karate? That ain't gonna work. Oh, where y'all going? I'm coming too then. I'll take your whole class home.
Goodness gracious!
Join the class.
Sure. That's me, nice.
What's up, y'all? I'm a young female lyricist from the Shy. I'm 16 years old. I go by Saya Bay. Hit me out. Hey, yo. Listen, I say Jesus walk with what? Hey, yo. Listen, I say red tape, yellow tape around the abandoned building. All the kids out here ain't drug dealing. Keep your hands hot, way to the ceiling. If you're African American, you should know the feeling. Get up, stand up. I'm out.
So guys, we're in this virtual
Right
world.
now, I'm in the movement. Like Shamon doing that music. And that's stand stop.
So we're gonna go ahead and just stop it. I'm sorry, we're getting frustrated. I hate that we have to cut this beautiful young artist short. But we will be showing this video on all our platforms.
We going missing, ain't no searches for the trafficking. We pray to
So we're running over time. Let's just stop it because it's not flowing well here. And let's go ahead and go back and introduce the winner so they can at least come and say some words. And then we'll go ahead and get ready to end shortly. And then we will be showing these videos on all our platforms, especially the top three will be shown in different platforms. So if we can bring back the actors and the speakers, let's announce their earnings, and then let's go ahead and get it in the broadcast. All right. All right. So Shamon, why don't you go ahead? The young lady who didn't get to say her words. Actually, you'd already announced her, so we're gonna just have her say some words about her motivation for what she did, your school or your city, and your motivation. And it was awesome. Go ahead. You may be on mute. Take yourself off of mute. There you go.
Okay. Hello, my name is Alexis Morgan. I live on the south side of Chicago. I go to Kenwood Academy. And my motivation behind this video that I was making is because it's a lot of violence going on. I've lost a lot of people to violence. My friends have lost a lot of people to violence. And it hurts I'm always there for my friends. It hurts having to console them on a daily basis because they're losing so many people. And it's just so sad that the youth has to worry about their life every day they walk out of their home. So I decided that to spread my message, spread my point of view about how violence affected me and how it's affecting the world and that it should stop.
You know, what you're saying is beautiful. It really hurts my heart. And that's what we experience all over the world and all over the country, which is why these kind of programs and involvement of the youth is so very important. So listen, you're right by me. We're gonna anybody that's in Chicago, we're gonna be I'm gonna get together with you guys at our facility and get you guys some lunch or something in a socially distanced manner. All right, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But thank you for your kind words.
Thank you.
So we want to. I think we may have if is Shamon or Mike. You want to introduce the next winner? I think they may be on here, but I'm not sure at this point. In the interest of time, guys, I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. Shamon, you want to say something? I see you're still on. Go ahead and just say the name of winner number 2. All right, guys. Winner number 2, as you saw, was the Clark Karate Marvin Clark Karate Academy. And they representative is not on, but as you can see, their message was to avoid fights, which when the bully came up to them, they clearly avoided the fight. And they just walked right past, and it showed how bullying is so very prevalent. And then they went in and they showed their skills and showed that they could have totally smoked that guy, and they didn't. And then at the end, they accepted the young man who actually decided he wanted to stop doing what he was doing and now become a part of a mentoring group or an activity group or a martial arts group. And so it was an outstanding message. It was with groups. And so they definitely deserve their $1,000. And so they just won $1,000 that we'll be getting to them shortly. And so without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce and apologize to our number 1 winner, whose video was judged by several people. And it was all pretty, unanimous that her rap was so very powerful and so very effective. And she's out of Chicago as well. And I thought I saw her on here. If you are on here, her name is her Instagram name is Saya Bay. If you're on, go ahead and pop on and say some words. Saya Bay, are you here? Because we're in full prevent mode with the digital divide, as you can see. So Saya, if you're on here, oh, you know what, Saya, are you on here? Okay, look, the Watchman is here. Let them go ahead and say some words. Can you guys say some words? I see you guys with the mask on.
Hello, my name is Josiah. I live in Portage, and I was one who played as the bully in the video. And I just wanted to say when you faced with bullying, you don't want to always respond unless they come at you physically. But if they don't come at you physically, the best thing is to walk away. That's what we're being taught by our great teacher Hunchy, to just walk away from it. If you're called by a bully and they're bullying you, the best thing is to just walk away.
So guys, that's so very important. And that's why I said, even when I was taking martial arts when I was younger, you learn the most important thing, which is to prevent a fight, to walk away from it. And right now, everybody want to engage in something, and then that's when all the bad things happen. And so, guys, this Watchman group are located in Maryville. They're an outstanding team. As you can see, they not only do martial arts, but they also use weapons. And those two little young girls in front of you are brilliant. And so we want to thank you guys, Watchmen. Thank you for being here. We'll have your video being shown. Thank you so much. Take care. All right, our winner, you're here. Listen, I'm going to apologize to you again. And as I said, I owe you guys lunch in Chicago and in Indiana. Whoever was here from Indiana, I owe you lunch as well. So we'll be catching up with you guys. But I just want to thank you, Shamon or Michael, if you want to say some words. But you won $2,000. Hope you can use it.
Thank you so much. Would you like to, for me to like talk about myself or like?
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about yourself, where you're from, any of that.
I'm a 16-year-old female lyricist from Chicago. I also reside in Chicago. I go to Gary Comer College Prep High School. I am a junior. And my message, or what I feel I wrote, what drove me to write that rap was basically, it's so much growing up in Chicago, like that goes noticed, that goes unnoticed. You see a lot growing up in Chicago, most things like your friends going through stuff, or you may be going through stuff. But another thing I had quoted in my lyrics, I had said that we got to stay together, 2020 living proof. And it's the fact that 2020 really showed its colors this year. Like, it's so much been going on. Like, this year has really been crazy. And I feel like if we stay together and spread more love, spread more peace, and just create a vibe and communicate amongst each other, it wouldn't be so much violence or so much hatred out here in this world.
100% correct. And you know what? Can you perform right now?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead and forward right now. If you want to play music with it, go ahead and do it live right here on Facebook Live with 100 Black Men of America.
Okay, I could just do it a cappella. Okay, red tape, yellow tape around abandoned buildings. All the kids out here ain't drug dealing. Keep your hands high, way to the ceiling. If you're African American, you should know the feeling. Get up, stand up. I'm out here right now. I'm in the movement. Like Nina Simone doing that music, uplifting that spirit and song. Keep on moving, soul to soul. Like the chairman Fred Hampton, I'm standing bold. Brutality gotta stop. The violence gotta stop. So we plead the blood on every block. We need tighter gun laws before the next one pops. I'm black and I'm proud. We shall overcome. We in traffic like them bucket boys. We don't need drums. Don't like seeing my kind up on the concrete. We going missing. Ain't no searches for the trafficking. We pray to God to protect us, make the demons leave. Spread love instead of hate. That would be epic. I just want to be poetic. Like Hughes and Angelou. It's up to us to change the world. It's up to you with path to choose. Don't be weak-minded. Fight them battles we can't lose. This is food for thought. I'm young, but still I'm dropping jewels. We got to stay together. 2020 living proof. Thank you.
Off the chain. Off the chain. Now you guys see why it was hard making these decisions. And let me tell you this.
Everybody else was so great as well. And I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you all for providing like this opportunity and stuff like that. Truly a blessing.
See, and she's gracious and winning, man. I love that. You know, the top two winners actually had the most likes and the most shares. So you legitimately won this without us even having to choose. Thank you guys for being a part of this. And by the way, Hot Rod is going to interview the top winner, which is you, on Monday. And on today, this evening, as well as on Monday, they're going to announce all the winners. And then we got some other stuff in store for you guys. We're going to be blasting all your videos across every platform. Okay? And then we also may have you guys coming back for some other things that we'll be discussing later. All right?
All right.
So, we're going to go ahead and thank you guys again. If Delmar can show the last PowerPoint screen. And by the way, let me give you our IG account, guys. Our IG is Pop on Youth Violence. Again, IG Pop on Youth Violence. And we're going to be going into the third phase of this. And the third phase of this is now going to spread to other cities where our health and wellness members are located. For instance, Oakland, Atlanta, DC, California. And so now we're going to spread this same challenge as well as Indiana and Chicago all over again. Obviously, the same winners can't win, but we're going to be doing this again at IG at Pop on Youth Violence. If we had the last slide, we can show it. Otherwise, the last couple slides, just here we go. Move on to it. The next slide. I just want to tell you guys some important things as youth. Keep going. We're going to be moving to phase 3, as I just mentioned. We've already discussed that. Keep moving. So voting. A lot of you are about to turn 18 or have friends or family who are 18 or above. It's important for you guys to vote. The Hip Hop Caucus, where you go to Respect My Vote, is right there. You can easily go on there and vote and sign and register. Next slide. Another option is Foot Locker. Foot Locker in every freaking mall has just partnered with Rock the Vote, and you can go into Foot Locker and register on the spot. So we want all youth to do that, and even adults. You're all in the mall anyway, all the time anyway, so why don't you go and vote? You get all your friends together and go and do it. Next slide. We want you guys to vote early and in person, okay? Get a mask. You're out marching anyway. You know, get a mask and go vote. And the last two things, 100 Black Men of America, go back to the previous slide, is having a college fair on October 17th. And we want every kid in, Indiana and Chicago in the Midwest region to come to 100bmc.org to now figure out how to get into college and become productive in life. And for those of you in Indiana, you can go to this free college scholarship event that's taking place on September 30th, which is next week. Last slide, without further ado. Again, our Instagram account is Pop on Youth Violence. So we want all you guys to go on there to figure out what we're doing next. And so I want to thank our ambassadors. We're going to be doing more stuff with them. We're going to work on maybe trying to get a video with them that we can share to all of our cities. And we also want to expand their brand. The Shy is well known, but how well known is it in other cities like Houston or Texas? So we want to be able to help them to get a bigger presence. And so we're going to go ahead and sign out now. Thank you guys for staying with us through the technical difficulties. We promise to be better the next time. Again, I'm Dr. McGee, chair of the 100 Black Men of America Violence Prevention Action Committee, ER Doc, and CEO of Premier Urgent Care. Thank you guys, and thank 100 Black Men for the opportunity. Take care. And we're out.